I want to say help. I want to say the marital. You feel that I need the marital counseling or help.
No, what I said was, I am fully capable of processing what he says. I am fully capable of seeing his perspective and aligning with whatever it is he said. Whether I agree with it or not, I can receive what he's saying. He is in the process of learning how to receive what I'm saying. And in the past, if he did not agree with what I was saying, he'd be like, that's not true. I was like, just because it's not true for you does not mean it's not true. So
let's talk facts. If it's a statement that you said is true to you and it's not a fact, then it's not true.
Okay, so here, facts are subjective. Sam, do you watch sports?
What sports?
Sports, yes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay, what is a sport that you watch?
Basketball.
Basketball. Okay, who is the best basketball player to you?
Michael Jordan.
Okay. Dre, who is the best basketball player to you? Sam
Jordan.
doesn't know, that's why we're having the question.
Sam is Jordan.
Okay.
You know, for my generation.
My generation too.
It's generational. It's a generational truth. If you ask the generation after you, it's going to be Kobe Bryant. If you ask the generation after them, it's going to be LeBron James. If you ask me, I don't care about basketball, so I don't know who the best basketball player is.
Yeah.
Who's lying? Who's telling the truth? It's all the truth. So he's saying, and speaking in facts, the truth is the truth. No. I'm allowed to, based off of my history, based off of the way that I process the world, based off of how I feel that day, what is true, or how I process the world, is true.
Okay.
Somebody cut me off because they're an asshole. No, they cut you off because they saw their turn last minute. Who knows what the truth is? But it's my truth. I felt they were being assholes, so that should be honored just as well as, you're right, maybe they did see their turn last minute and they weren't being an asshole. So I can receive that as well. So I can receive everybody's truth. Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, I don't care. You're all right. But for him, he's like, no, Jordan, period. That's the truth.
That's not.
That may not be the best example. You give a better example, but that is what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
I'm more analytical. 1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if we're talking about mathematics,
Okay.
then that's a fact that 1 + 1 is 2.
Yeah.
But she'll see it some different way and make 1 + 1 3, and that's her truth because she said it.
Okay. Our life issues not always clear mathematics.
Pop your stuff, Sam.
There are many issues that depends on how we look at it, our experience, our feelings. So it's not just something that we agreed upon as science or mathematics, that 1 + 1 = 2. Everybody maybe agree, except those with modern, mathematics. They say, well, if we look at it from different equation, we come up.
That's just my example. That's one of my examples.
I know he's walking it back for you. He's saying everything's not so literal. Everything is subject to interpretation. Everything is not as concrete as 1 + 1 is 2. There's interpretation. Go ahead, Sam.
Maybe something that makes it easier for both of us is when I present the issue, I would tell the other person that this is how I look at it. This is how I feel about it. This is how the issue looks to me. Rather than it's this. This is how you have to look at it. This is how you accept it. The same way I look at it and I understand it, and because we are always have different understanding. We have different interpretation. But to make the communication more healthier or healthier is to remind ourselves that when we get together, we are bringing with us two worlds, two backgrounds, two views, two angles. That, you know, I look at this picture from my side, you look at this picture from your side.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so which part is closer to you? What part is more shining to you? And the other part is darker to you? It's different from how I look at it.
Of course, everybody's perception is different.
Okay.
I agree with that.
I know you agree. Okay, now, so how we deal with differences or disagreements? We have differences and we have disagreement. Differences is natural thing. You know, that, you know, I prefer this kind of food, you prefer another kind of food. That's natural, you know. But disagreement is like something has to do with our values, our belief. You know, if like you think like drinking alcohol is against your faith.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't think that drinking alcohol is against her faith, for example. So this will create a disagreement. Okay, so maybe you wouldn't allow alcohol in your house because you think it's against your belief, your faith, and you wanna protect your kids from learning to drink alcohol. And she thinks that no, it can be occasional social drinking. You know, most of the people drink alcohol, so why are you taking it so seriously? So here we have disagreement. Is it manageable? Yes, everything is manageable. Why? Because the relationship is more important than the issue itself.
Mm-hmm.
That Andre loving relationship to Lani is more important than whether to have alcohol beverage in our house or not, or to enroll my child in this school, in public school or in private school. Your relationship is more important, and enjoying the relationship is more important than the issue itself. So that's why we try to be more flexible about what's right and what's wrong. Yeah, but we allow the views to be circulated,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because sometimes maybe I lack information. I don't have enough information about the subject. Maybe I will ask her, okay, let me think about it before I come up with my judgment or my opinion, because I'm not fully aware of the subject. So here, what helped in getting a common understanding of the same issue is to collect information about the subject. Maybe both of us, we don't know much about the subject. Okay, let's move out of this house and to another house. Okay, they said, let's say, Surprise City is more, it's more comfortable to live than Phoenix. Okay, so what do you mean by that,
You have
Why?
to do your research.
We need to do a research about it, collect information, she collect her information, you collect, and you make a cross information, and then based on what you have on the table, you say, okay, let's weight the benefits and negative things about this issue. If the positive things overweight the negative things, then we say, well, this is the outcome of our research.
Mm-hmm.
So here, it's not me versus you, or my word against your word.
Yeah, you get like that a lot.
It becomes personal. When I say, okay, it's a matter of my word against your word, that means we are getting personal. But if we treat it as, let's put the subject on the table and make it under our investigation. Let's investigate about this subject and see whether the positive aspects is more than the negative aspect. We choose whatever is more beneficial for both of us. Because I'm not talking about myself, I like look at my personal interest as more important than your personal interest. No, we have common interest after all. You know, we are trying to achieve the common interest for the whole family, for the relationship, rather than for me or for you.
Mm-hmm.
So, this is how, okay, to be flexible, the way we present our views about the issue, the way I address the other person, okay, if like I say, well, I am the one who need to make a decision about this subject because it affects me more than it affects you. Okay, well, if we both have the same interest in the subject, then no, let's share. We need to share, you know, because we are on the same level of equality and dignity. You know, we respect each other, we admire each other. I respect your intelligence, I respect your intelligence, your knowledge, your knowledge. So, yeah, but the way how we circulate the discussion in a way that would not impose any hard feelings on any of us. Like, we feel comfortable with talking. Sometimes we become tense. We become defensive. Sometimes we become offensive because here's
A lot of times they become offensive.
yes. Why? Because there's like
No, Sam.
emotions.
Sam, I'm gonna cut you off
Okay.
because I get what he's saying. Do you understand what he's saying?
Mm-hmm.
Effective communication, compromise. That's what you're saying. We got some more issues we got to work through. I get what you're saying there. So, do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
We get it. So, can I bring something up to send you on another direction? All right. He said that oftentimes things get offensive. And I want to bring up the fact that the things that he gets offended by, I believe what potentially you're saying is people say things to be offensive versus being offended by what a person is saying. Now, how can one process, that's why your mama dropped out of school. Well, that's just trying to be offensive. That's unnecessary to say. But the other day, I said that his business is failing. He got offended by that. That's true. So me saying your mama dropped out of school is to be offensive. That's unnecessary. To say that the business is failing, which is a truth, action needs to be taken, or another direction needs to be taken. If he chooses to be offended by that truth,
Because
that's a choice.
I don't feel my business is failing. First of all,
Okay, but
I feel that I need to do some stuff to get it back on track, but I don't feel that it's failing because it's been supporting and it's still supporting. But I don't feel that it's failing. Now it's a drop off because of things that I need to do, or I need to get back my marketing or whatever. But I don't consider my business a failure when it's still supporting 7 different people.
And I didn't call his business a
You said
failure.
it's failing.
I said it is failing. Because if you look at it, it is not even supporting itself. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is if people are having a disagreement or if people are having a conversation and something is said, what is the difference between saying something to be offensive, or someone choosing to be offended by what is said? He could say what he wants to, but he immediately goes into defense. But the truth is, if you cannot pay your bills based off of what your business is producing, that is a failing business. Is it a failure? No. It can be revived. But if you understand what I'm saying, we're not talking about the business.
Opinion.
We're talking about offensive,
her opinion.
choosing to be offended.
Exactly.
So that is my question.
That's an excellent example that you just brought up. That you thought that the business that he's conducting or managing is failing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he got offended
Mm-hmm.
from what you said. Okay, from your perspective, what you said was not offensive,
Mm-hmm.
but he felt
Mhm.
offended.
Mm-hmm.
How we deal with that? Since he felt this way, he has all the right to express his thoughts and his feelings, but with respect.
Mm-hmm.
How we do with that? He would say, he would use I statement. When I heard you saying the business is failing, I felt offended. Why? Because I felt that you are accusing me of mismanaging my business. That's how I felt. That's how I felt offended. It's like you are pointing your finger at me and tells me, okay, your business is failing because of you. So that's how I felt. And it left a negative impact on me. So by using I statement, he reflected to you how your statement left an impact on you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, knowing how he felt, maybe you would try to modify the statement
Mm-hmm.
since it had some impact on him. You may say, well, I didn't mean exactly to offend you or to say something offensive to you because I love you, I care for you, I respect you. But what I meant that from my, as outsider and observing how the business are going on, I felt or I thought that it's not going the right direction. I'm not blaming you on that. Maybe either the market trend or maybe the location, maybe the marketing, something wrong, but I'm not accusing you. Okay, so I'm just bringing up this subject for me and you to discuss it.
Yeah, so
And
now we
see
can have a
how
discussion.
Can we do something about it to, instead of seeing that the business is failing, trying to helping to make some changes in order for the business to be enhanced or to go the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
So, in this way that you know, I care for your feeling. No, I didn't mean that. And when I said that, I never meant that I wanna be offensive to you.
So if someone's not saying something deliberately to be offensive, i.e., me saying that the business is failing was not to be offensive, it is his job to say, this is how your words were offensive to me, and then it is my job to say, okay, that was not my intentions to offend you. It was my job to communicate my feelings in a non-offensive way, which I have no problem re-establishing, re-saying what I need to say. And now he can either choose to move in a space still choosing to be offended, or he can choose to say, okay, I understand you. Now we can talk about what actions are being taken in order to move this forward. What happens with us is we get caught in a loop of, I say something, look, I only know what I'm saying is going to be offensive because I filter everything, right?
Yeah.
But the truth is the truth,
Yes.
especially in context. I just said what I said, but in the context of what I said, we were talking about building generational wealth, leaving legacy. And I said, how are you building something that you can leave your children when it's failing? And so that was the context. It wasn't just, I was like, that's why your business, no, in the context, it was a relevant statement. So how do I make a relevant statement?
It's even more. So like you're talking about my legacy as a barber, or you talking about me passing my legacy down to my kids, or them barbering or whatever. That business, how is it failing? And you're not going to be able to hand nothing down to your kids. That's almost a smack in my face as well. How you know my business gonna be failing and I'm not gonna be able to do that? I might be slow right now or whatever, but things will pick back up and I'll still be able to. I'm going on 7, 8 years in business. That's still a successful business to me. You ever heard the saying, anything over 7 years is a successful business? Just like they say about marriage as well too. Hey, you go make it to 7 years, most likely you're gonna have a successful marriage, or you're gonna be together for a long time. You make it to 7 years in business, you're gonna be successful, and you're gonna be in business for a long time. Mm-hmm. It's up and down in businesses, but to strike my legacy.
The conversation was about generational wealth. The conversation was about generational wealth.
And how am I going to be able to create generational wealth if I ain't got no legacy to pass down?
The conversation was about generational wealth. And I said, how are you building generational wealth with a failing business? And it's not that
building.
Okay, that's fine. And so with that generational wealth context, I said what I said, and you got offended by how you express I'm saying that you're not going to leave anything for your children, legacy, pride points, all these different things that bumped up against. Okay, that's fine. I can change what I said, but what I said matters, right? I could say it in the most warm and fuzzy way possible, but it still needs to be said. These are conversations that need to be had, because what he's doing individually and whoever he may be conversing with, because he doesn't talk to me about his business, I know nothing about what's going on with him professionally, and he knows nothing about what's going on with me professionally. I know why he doesn't know what's going on with me professionally. I don't know why I don't know what's going on with him professionally. But these conversations have to be had, because this is our family's livelihood, and this has been going on. Now, for him to feel it it started in 2023. I've seen it because I paid the bills. I've seen it happening since 2021, when our savings started dwindling down, and I told him, our savings is going down, we got to figure something out. Then we started living on credit cards, and I was like, we're living on credit cards, these things about to be maxed out, I can't pay them off and pay the bills, we need to figure something out. And then I totally stepped away from finances, and I was like, you take care of the bills. And now he, in 2023, because he handles the bills, he's actually doing it, he's trying to figure all those things out. But it's been happening for at least 4 years.
Yeah. Well, you have concerns, and your concerns are very legitimate, because you're worried about the financial situation for the family, not only for the present time, but for the future. When you talk about generational, think that, okay, we are not only going to succeed for our current time that we need our needs, but we have to keep in mind that we have kids that are going to grow up, and they will have their own needs. And are we preparing and planning something for them, for their future, how they gonna do for their education, whatever? So you have concerns, and your concern based on something clear, and issues like paying the bills. That what draw your attention. But the family, 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 the Okay, now we used to have saving. Now we are not saving as much as we used to. That's question mark. That's a concern. Okay, why our saving is not as much as used to be? So it's supposed to be the same or on the
Because
increase.
the economy
Growing.
took a dump and I went through a pandemic.
So when are we pivoting? When's the pivot? When's the pivot?
My pivot is getting back to business. When do you pivot? You went through
I
all this with
literally
me. You ain't
have
working
a
5
job.
years. Just now.
Because the family agreed upon that, right?
Just now, February,
The
you got a
fam-
job. Fine, that's
January,
perfect. But
because the
I've been
family
holding this
agreed.
shit down for how long?
Okay, so you're taking this as an offensive
It's not
point.
offensive. It's
Well,
not
your
offensive.
voice
But
is
y'all
elevating.
talking about me.
We're talking about
running a failing
circumstances.
business and then
We're
then
not
savings.
talking about that.
And then I'm
We're
talking about
talking-
how did the savings get dwindled? By me paying everything with the credit cards and everything. But what did you pay? What did you do with anything?
Okay, you brought up another issue. She brought up her concerns, and you have your own.
I have my concern, but I've been holding it down for like 6 years. She
We
hasn't worked at all.
appreciate you. I have worked.
Really, I mean, you worked, but you ain't really contributed to any bills for the last 5 years.
That's our agreement.
It's an agreement, but
I
then
pay
if
our
you see,
debts and I take care of our kids. That has always been our
Okay.
agreement.
Okay, you both have concerns, but we don't want to use the concerns against each other.
I
it's
don't
not. If
believe
it's a
that I am.
partnership and you see somebody struggling, don't you supposed to jump in and help, or you know, because I would do it.
You're right. You know, you're asking if you have observed a decrease in the saving. Okay, don't blame it on me. Maybe I need somebody to help me.
But she helped me spend all the money too.
Yeah, but in spending or in making it additional income from his point of view.
Yeah, I have made additional income. Like I told him, the amount of money that he has lost in his business, there's no way that I can earn what he's lost. He's lost thousands of dollars a month. There's no way if I go get a teaching job, which my master's degree is in, but his ex-wife ruined my opportunity to ever go back into a classroom. But, you know, and that is a bitter space for me because someone who ain't got even nothing to do with me ruined my career. So even if I did go back into a classroom, I still wouldn't be able to replace. I'm not holding it against you. I hold it against her.
Okay, because I ain't had nothing to do with that. She did that.
Yeah, how did she get connected to me?
Right.
The point is that
So she is
I
holding
can
it
know
against
I don't have anything. You are the connection point to someone who ruined my career, so I can acknowledge how this person came into my life. Yes, I can acknowledge that. Do I blame you? No. Can I acknowledge? Yes.
So your career is ruined forever.
I cannot teach because she has ruined my ability to work with children. Through any type of certification, she ruined that. Yes.
So you can't get none of that
Is
clear.
that because you left your
She
job?
put a false order of harassment against me. She made up a bunch of lies and the court just passed it. Well, as a teacher, I can't go get a fingerprint clearance card and work with children anymore because she put this order against me. And I went to the court and I tried to get it cleared up in there. Like, once it's passed, it's passed. I was like, nobody even talked to me about it. It just got passed and I got served with the papers. Like, and nothing on here is true. She had no evidence. She just made up a bunch of lies and just pretty much ruined my career. So I can't even go into the classroom, which is fine. I don't want to be a classroom teacher. But if it's like, okay, the ship is sinking, let me go back into the classroom until we get it together. Can't even do that now. So I have to go get some sort of odd-end job. But even if I could go to my highest earning potential, which is going into the classroom, I still would not bring in enough money to cover what our family has lost. That is my point.
Okay.
So he has to do something because he has lost the income. He had the income of 3 people. So for him to lose the income of 3 people, I could come in and help with one of those people, but we still missing another person. So he has to find another solution.
So it's not against anybody. It's the issue there that this family has lost something, and how we can stand together in compensating, finding an alternative for what we have lost. So there is a loss. So what we gonna do about the loss? You know, it's you and me, only both of us. We are facing this issue. So So me and you are facing this dilemma, the loss of money, which we, need badly. So let's sit together and think about ways of finding maybe other sources or alternatives, or maybe some enhancement in the way we are conducting our business. So we have to come up with something to help ourselves.
Yeah, I agree, but he doesn't
Yeah.
want to.
And this
It's
is
not, no.
It's not. I said you can Uber something, you can do something. Oh, I got to.
I
And
can't
you just
Uber. I can't do
automatically.
anything like that when you using my Jeep. I can't
That's
do that.
now. This has been happening for over a year.
Yeah.
For over a year, you have done nothing but watch your business struggle. I'll use a better word. Watch your business not do what it has previously done. You have sat there and watched it happen. I'm not in it. You are. Your stress is your stress. I don't know any of that. But you have been in it and you've done nothing as far as I know. And every time we do have a conversation, it's I'm going to. I have heard I'm going to for over a year, and now we're going into May, so over a year and 4 months, I have heard I'm going to, but I have seen the fruits of zero actions. You have not came home and said, babe, this is the new thing that I tried today. You haven't said anything. All I hear about is the struggle. So excuse me if my response to you is in response to the struggle, because you share no successes with me. You share no moves that you're making. You share no deals and no rebranding or any of those things with me. All I hear about is, I got to pay the rent in 2 days. That's all I hear from you. I have to figure out how to pay this bill. That's all I hear from you. So that's the response point that I come from. And if you're coming to me because you want me to solve that problem for you, hey, I figured out for the most part a couple of our situations, and you know why I can't go beyond what I've done, because soon as something attaches to me, we got bigger problems. And I think staying alive is a much more important than helping you figure out the finances, how we gonna pay the rent. I think you can figure that out, and I could keep it so that we can at least keep the things that we need for us to keep our medication. You can say what you want to in response, but we've had all these conversations and he just offers no solution. It's just like, I'll offer a solution. He doesn't like my solution. He rebuttals, but he doesn't offer additional solution. Like you said, you come with something, I come with something, we figure it out. I'll come with something, he'll come with a rebuttal, and then there's no figuring out. You don't have to agree with me, but come with another solution so that we can come up with some damn solutions.
Exactly. Because we have a problem, and this problem is waiting for a solution. So what kind of solution that would, resolve the problem? So we would like brainstorming ourselves to come up with, suggestions. And we discuss all, like we have 3-4 suggestions, and we try to look at each one and see how practical is it. Does it apply to what we are doing? Is it expensive? Is it above our capacity? Can we try it? If we try it, is it promising or not? So we discuss each, like the 3 of the what we have, and then we choose one. Let's try this one and see how it goes.
Exactly.
Yeah. And,
That's what I told him. If he
okay,
doesn't
and
offer
nobody at
anything, then
fault.
we got to try
Nobody
mine.
at fault.
I've tried a lot of things. A lot of things have failed or fell off or whatever. And I'm not the best organizer or savvy behind a computer or anything like that. I procrastinate a lot, and that probably is a problem for me as well. But for the most part, I feel that my business is ran to be able to pay the bills for the house and everything. It's struggling right now. I could do a lot more things to see if I can get more money out of it. But you know, that's me. I feel like she is not helping me with anything but just talking about the bills.
I see. You mentioned procrastination, that you postpone things, right?
Yeah, procrastination.
Procrastination. Okay. How would that affect what you do as a barber?
It affects the things because I need to, you know, I always gotta order supplies. I gotta get marketing things, you know. I could post a lot more on social media and all of that stuff, but you know,
And
the procrastination,
yeah.
the working, you know, the long hours and
So in your mind, if you do these things in a timely manner, this would make a big difference.
yeah.
Okay. So procrastination is the issue. And I'm very happy that you have such insight, that you attributed.
I know my problems. I
Yeah,
know what I have to do.
Yeah. And we need to rely on your knowledge, actually, your intelligence. And maybe this is the start, the first step of the solution, that once we diagnose the issue, that procrastination was the main reason for the delay, for not achieving what we want, etc. Because you mentioned a lot of good things about making your business a successful one, like marketing, supplies, etc. And you are a young man with the energy, with the intelligence, you know. So those things that you are planning for are manageable, doable, right?
Definitely.
Definitely. So all it takes is, okay, well, let's make a practical plan, very commitment for action. Okay, because even in therapy we say we first do self-disclosure, and then in-depth self-exploration, and then commitment to action.
Mm-hmm.
Commitment to action. That means we know the solution, but we have to be committed to it. We have to start. We know our goal and we know our measures and procedures. Then we have to make the steps. Step number 1, step number 2, step number 3. So we are on the right track.
Yeah, I know all of that. I'm about to be 50 years old, so I've been through a lot of stuff, and I took myself and I learned a lot, and all the steps that I had to do to get where I'm at today. I know about steps and all of that, you know. Sometimes, you know, shit get monotonous, and that's when the what's name set in.
Okay.
And if I'm not happy at home and all of that shit, you know, I don't want to be. It's hard.
Yeah.
People go through depression and everything, you know, but I have to be strong and take everybody's
You mentioned
accountability.
Mentioned depression. Is depression has to do with the procrastination?
I don't know. Things happen, you know.
Okay. When you feel depressed.
I don't know what triggers it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Because, okay, we need to shed light on this part, because it's not if there is a link between depression and procrastination, then we have to do something about depression, because depression takes away the energy from us. Because any action that you are committed to, you have to have the energy and the motivation. Motivation, in definition, is the energy that gives the behavior the intensity and direction. Intensity and direction to the behavior. That's motivation. So if I'm depressed, my energy is not that good. It will not drive me to do the action. It will let me postpone. Well, maybe later on. Well, I'm not in the right mood. Well, I don't know when I face it now. If I do it now, I know I'm gonna face some difficulty. So I don't wanna face any difficulty now. Let's do it later on. So that would postpone things.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if I work on my motivation, my depression, I would say, well, look, my plan is very promising. And if I start my plan now, my life will be changed. I will be succeeding, I will be making more money, I will be saving more money, my wife will be happier, my kids will be on the safe side. So that would drive the energy out of me. Oh, I'm gonna start now, I know the steps. Step number 1 is gonna be done today. Today, step number 1, not tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And like a lion, I will go and do the first step. And the following day is the second step. And keep doing it. And I will be proud of myself. I'll be proud. Look, I'm doing my job. I am doing my job. I'm using my capacity. I have the vision, I have the knowledge, I have the intelligence, I have the skills, and I have the energy. So no delay, no procrastination. It's now, not tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So creating the energy, that's what we need.
So what needs to happen for that to happen? See, everyone gets caught up on, we all know what we're supposed to do. Nobody does what they're supposed to do. How? How does he move past? He's known he's a procrastinator. He knows what's going to make him move. That's what he needs to figure out.
Yeah, triggering the energy.
Exactly.
The motivation. By knowing the fruits that I'm gonna get. It's promising. Once I apply or carry out my plan, I will make a big difference. I will be happy. I will feel a big achiever. I will admire myself.
So he wants the environment to be able to be creative, not making the connection that in order to create, that will create the environment. Like, you have to create the environment you desire. The environment's not going to be there. So if you're not happy at home, you have to create the environment to be happy at home. It's not, once my home is happy, then I can do what I need to do. No, you need to create the happy home in order for you to do, but by doing what you're doing is what's going to create the home. You understand? You cannot have what you want until you create what you want. So as long as he refuses to do it, as long as he's not motivated to do what he needs to do because of X, Y, Z, I'm not happy at home, depression, yada, 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 he has you understand all of that is because he's not doing what he needs to do. So if he did what he needs to do, guess what? The home environment is going to improve. Guess what? The depression is going to go away. Guess what? All those things. Why? Because you know that you can be happy in your home environment because you've been happy in your home environment. You know that you can be in a non-depressive state because you've been in a non-depressive state. So, you know, all these things are achievable, but you're not doing it because of your current situation. But your current situation is because you're not doing it. But he doesn't, there's a disconnect somewhere.
So we have to break the cycle.
Exactly.
We have to break, and the breaking the cycle is by taking the first step.
I'm telling you, you better pop your stuff, Sam.
the first step, and today, not tomorrow.
Yep, today.
And this will, look how it makes me feel.
Yeah, count your wins.
Because once I start the process, I feel I'm on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
But if I wait, I said, well, I will start the process tomorrow or next week or maybe next month. Or let's wait until the circumstances become better, then I will start my process. Then here, I'm doing nothing. I'm not feeling good about myself because I'm doing nothing. But once I start the first step, I am on the right track. I am moving. You know, you are traveling from here to New York by your car. Once you get on your car and you start your car and make the move, you would say, if somebody call you, what you doing? Well, I'm on my way to New York. Doesn't matter how long, the road. The road is long, maybe it takes you 3 days. But what you say to your friend, I'm on my way to New York. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Because just you made the first step,
Mm-hmm.
and then the second, and then the third, you are on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to put myself on the right track
Mm-hmm.
and take the first step.
Mm-hmm.
Against, even if they are like psychological issues trying to block my vision, block my way, like try to prevent me from moving, I would fight.
Mm-hmm. Why? Because I'm
Get
going
out
to
of
New
my
York.
face.
Because I'm on my way to New York. It don't matter how I get to New York, damn it, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
Right, you don't get there.
I agree, Sam.
Okay, wonderful. We catch the string. So we wanna follow on it
Mhm.
and see how things, move.
Oh yeah.
Our time is up, and when do you like to meet again? Next week, same time?
Whatever he chooses, I'm available. I could adjust my schedule to whatever.
Yeah, same time is cool.
Same time next week? Okay. Nice meeting you both. I like both of you, and we hope that we're gonna achieve something very valuable.
Is there homework that we're taking with us? What is our string that we're supposed to attach
the
to?
first step, what the first step can be, like measures that you can take today. What would be the first step that you can make today?
Order my supplies.
Order your supplies. Wonderful. That's good measure. And if you make a schedule for yourself, that today I'm gonna order my supplies, tomorrow I will follow up on my supplies, the day after tomorrow I will receive my supplies, and maybe how I'm gonna use my supplies, and then there is a plan for my marketing, because maybe I need to make more customers come to my place, so this will be reflected on my income. The more customers I have, the more income I will have.
Yeah, I gotta get some flyers and stuff out, and I just gotta get out more. Probably.
Yeah, so supplies and marketing. So, yeah, so today is supplies.
Thank you, Sam.
Okay, great. Nice having you.
All right, appreciate